Welcome to Inside the Park on FSPN, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. I'm Uncle Muggs, and alongside me, as always, is Anthony Chappi Castillo.
My man Muggs, it's another electrifying week of regional semis. I have some great content this week, and it's going to be a great show, and we have something in store for you. And I heard that the player spotlight today, he's going to be electric.
Oh, this guy's electric. You're going to love it. Stick around. We have a good player spotlight coming up right after this. Well, I can't wait to see your videos, Chappie, and I can't wait to have this guy on our show. But first, let's pay some bills. Today's show is brought to us by our good friends at Florida State Tentless Termite Treatment. You can forget about the hassle of tenting and evacuating your home. The tentless treatment means no disruption to your life. Florida State solutions are eco-friendly, pet-friendly, and safe for your entire family, and it targets termites right where they live, deep inside of your house. So call Florida State today. Get your free inspection. They've been keeping Florida homes safe for over 25 years. All right, Chappie, it's time for the first pitch, player spotlight. What do you have for us this week?
This week, we're going to keep it nice and short so we can go right into what everybody wants to hear, the regional semis. But first, for the first pitch player spotlight, we'll start in Doral Academy. Shortstop from 2026, Kobe Carrion. He goes yard and his at-bat in the first game to nail it in the coffin for their first dub in this series versus Braddock. Carrion, who's got excellent tools at shortstop, above average arm, and he's very athletic. We like this kid moving forward. He's going to be something special for sure for Doral Academy. Moving on, I'd like to give a congratulations over at Miami Southridge, left-handed pitcher, a first pitch certified student athlete, Mark Alvarez. Mark Alvarez has decided that he will continue his student athlete and career over at Western Oklahoma State at a JUCO. And congratulations to him. And to anybody else that's out there still looking to get committed, please reach out to me. Class of 2025 availability for my enrollment is still available. Please reach out to me, guys. And to everybody that's already committed, I want to give a shout out to all of those that have already committed this week. Daniel Nunez, who went to Millennia Atlantic, congratulations to you. And everybody else that's still looking, like I said, make sure to reach out to me. Congrats to everybody this week. And my man Muggsy, let's get right into it, man.
Yeah,
the regional semis.
That's a great job once again. And they carry on. I love Kobe. You know, he comes from a pedigree. He's got a long line. His brother plays, and George is a coach over in Doral. And Mark Alvarez is going to join Alfred Rosario over there at Western Oklahoma State. So congrats to the lefty, Mark Alvarez. We'll be right back with the weekly recap of scores and highlights right after this. Welcome back to Inside the Park, the weekly recap show for South Florida high school baseball. Uncle Muggs alongside Chappi Castillo. And it's time for the weekly recap. Chappi, we have some of our local South Florida teams that will move on to the finals, but we have to say goodbye to a few of them as well.
Well, this week we had to say goodbye to some of our local South Florida teams. Let's get into the week's recap. The regional semifinal games that got underway on Monday. Muggs, what do you have for us this week, brother?
Well, let's start off with last Saturday. We had to say goodbye to the Southwest Eagles, who lost their Game 3 against the West Broward Bobcats and were eliminated from the state tournament. But rest assured that Mandy and his Eagles will be back in the thick of things next season.
I want to give a congratulations to Albert Bell, a senior who let it all out in this game. I was at this game. This young man, he had all 4 RBIs for the Southwest Eagles, who just lost 5-4. This kid hit a 3-run bomb to keep their team in it, down 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Congratulations to Albert Bell on leaving it all out there on your senior year, buddy. You carried that squad.
An incredible performance by Albert Bell. Another local team that has been eliminated were the Southridge Spartans. The West Boca Bulls beat the Spartans, and the Bulls will play the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders in their semifinal. And Spartan Nation, I just got to say one thing, that next season, you guys will be back with an experienced and battle-tested team, so watch out for those Spartans.
I'm going to call it right here for next year. I know that Mo is going to bring back that same talent, and he's got some more up his sleeve coming around this offseason. So I'm going to call it right here that Miami Southridge will be right back in a regional again.
Let's go to the Class 8 or the Rural Division, where the Marathon Dolphins took on the Fort Meade Miners. The Dolphins lost Game 1, 4-1, and on Tuesday's Game 2, the Fort Meade beat the Dolphins 15-1, ending their season. Chappi, your thoughts on the Dolphins and their season?
Man, I just got to give a huge shout out to my boy Joey and the Marathon Dolphins with the historic season, because it was an historic season for that program. Congratulations to the Marathon Dolphins and everything you guys accomplished this season. And to the Leal brothers, you guys carried that ball club basically, and without you guys, that ball club doesn't go as far as it did. So congratulations to Marathon and to the Leal brothers.
Let's move over to Class 1A, Region 4. On Monday, the Brito Panthers took on the number 1 seed, the Schoolhouse Prep Wolfpack. And this game could have been over in the first inning. Schoolhouse Prep scored 1 run in the top of the first, and then Brito scored 3 in the bottom of the first, and that's all she wrote. That's how it finished, 3-1 in favor of Brito. And in Game 2 on Tuesday, Brito incredibly scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to beat Schoolhouse Prep and advance to the regional finals.
The Panthers, the Brito Panthers, will play the Miami Christian Victors next Monday in the regional final. And I want to give a huge shout out to Brito, who everybody thought that Schoolhouse was going to come out, especially as the number 1 seed in that district and in that regional. You guys shut everybody up. Congratulations to you guys, and way to come through.
Another local Class 1A team that is still in the tournament are the Chris Quadra-led Miami Christian Victors. The Victors hosted the Jupiter Christian Eagles on Monday, and the Victors jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first inning, and they held on to beat the Eagles 5-3 in Game 1. On Tuesday's Game 2, the Eagles of Jupiter Christian beat the Victors 8-7, forcing a decisive Game 3 on Thursday in Jupiter. Miami Christian is determined to make it back to the state finals, where last year they lost a heartbreaker. The Victors put up 10 runs to the Eagles 1 and earned a spot in the regional final against Brito.
Yeah, this is going to be another electric series. 2 Miami-Dade County teams going in a regional final. So I'm going to duke it out for a state Final Four.
Let's jump over to Class 2A. The St. John Paul II Eagles faced the Cardinal Newman. On Monday, they got knocked out 10-0 by the Crusaders. And here I got a little flag for you guys. And on Tuesday, Game 2, the Eagles of St. John Paul won a 1-0 game, forcing a decisive Game 3. And on Thursday, the Eagles beat the number 1 seed, Cardinal Newman, and earned their way into a regional final series against the Scots of St. Andrews. So we have to say goodbye to the number 1 seed, the Crusaders of Cardinal Newman.
Yeah, Cardinal Newman was an impressive ball club with stellar pitching on the mound and talent all around. Congratulations on an incredible season.
The Westminster Christian Warriors have been the Road Warriors this season, and on Monday they were on the road again to face the St. Andrews Scots for the first game of their semifinal. And Chappi, here I thought that St. Andrews was a golf team, but apparently they could play some baseball as well. The Scots put up 11 runs on the board, beating the Warriors 11-1. And you guys get a flag over there. And on Tuesday's Game 2, the Scots showed that they're not just a bunch of hacks. They KO'd the Warriors 10-0. Another flag for you, the Scots. And they earned their place in a regional final against the St. John Paul Eagles. So we have to say goodbye to the Warriors and congratulations, Emil, on a great season.
Well, congratulations to both teams and to the Scots that advanced to the regional finals to face St. John Paul.
Let's move up to Class 3A, and in this region, we have 4 of our 305 teams still in it, but someone has to go home. The number 1 seed, the Miami Springs Golden Hawks, were at home in Monday's Game 1 to face the mighty Spartans of Monsignor Pace. The Spartans have a team batting average of 300, and that's one of the best in the entire county. But it was the Bats of Miami Springs that led the way in this one, collecting 13 hits to go along with the 9 runs that they scored. Kevin Roque was on the mound for Miami Springs, and if you give Roque 9 runs in a game, you can't lose.
Our FSPN cameras were at both games of this series, so you can make sure to watch those right here on our YouTube channel.
And on Tuesday's Game 2, the Hawks of Miami Springs showed that they're not only a pitching-heavy team, but they can hit with the best of them. The Hawks put up 10 runs and beat the Spartans 10-3, and they were led by that two-headed monster, that lefty, Magdiel Estevez. And Chappi, after watching this guy for the last few games, I am so impressed by this young man's skills. Not only is he a lights-out pitcher, but this guy can hit and he plays the outfield. Estevez was Miami-Dade's best-kept secret until now. Now everybody in the world knows that this kid is a real baller in every sense of the word.
So I want to congratulate Monsignor Pace and Chuck Lyman's ball club. What an incredible season you guys had. And to my boy Robert Kramer behind the plate. Buddy, you led that team and you were stellar the whole year. Congratulations to you guys. Now, to Miami Springs, you guys have one more step into making it to that promised land. It's time for you guys to show everybody why you guys have been the #1 team in Miami-Dade County for weeks throughout the season.
By the way, Chappi, Kelvin Pereira, the catcher, hit a home run in that game, and Tyler Ancheta had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. They really put it together in that game too.
Yeah, the Springs boys over there, they can swing it and they can pitch. It's a recipe for a good opportunity for a state Final Four. In the other Class 3 semifinal series, the Killian Cougars traveled to face the St. Brendan Sabres. The Sabres of Westchester, they sent their Italian stallion on the mound, Luciano Nava. The sophomore threw a complete Game 1 hitter against the Killian Cougars.
And in Game 2 on Tuesday, the Killian Cougars sent that skinny guy to the mound again, Sebastian Perez, to help extend the Cougar season. Perez pitched 7 1/3 innings, allowing just 2 runs, and then the senior, Kendry Blanco, came in to strike out the last 2 batters for the win, and the Cougars won 3-2, and they went into a decisive Game 3 on Thursday at the Red Bricks of Killian. And on Thursday's Game 3, the Westchester boys continued their Cinderella season by beating the Cougars of Killian 9-3. So we have to say goodbye to Coach Chris Leon and the Cougars, but I want to thank Cougar Nation, and I want to congratulate them on an outstanding season. You guys believed in what Coach Leon and his staff was doing, and I won't be surprised to see Killian in the mix for many years to come, and St. Brendan's has earned a spot in the finals, a place where they haven't been since they won the state championship in 1983. This series gets started at Miami Springs on Monday.
Yeah, I'm super excited for St. Brendan, and I got to congratulate Coach Robles over there for an incredible year. And just to get to this point, a lot of doubters had you guys not making it this far. So just to prove these guys and to prove everybody here in Dade County that you guys are one of the cream of the crop teams out of Westchester, congratulations to you guys. Now, for our boys over at Killian, Chris Leon, you guys were excellent the whole year. You guys battled and battled and battled and proved everybody wrong. And you guys won the games that were most important to get yourselves into this point. Congratulations to you guys. And an incredible year, an incredible run for Killian. And who knows, we could see Chris Leon as a Coach of the Year candidate.
I'll tell you, he's up there. And he went into Braddock and beat a good Braddock team at home. And they also beat a good North Broward Prep team at their field. So they had a great season. Congrats to Chris Leon. So moving over to Class 4A, Region 4, the #1 ranked American Heritage Patriots hosted the Key West Conchs in Game 1. American Heritage had a 4-run 4th inning and beat the Conchs 6-1 in Game 1. And on Tuesday's Game 2, I was there to see that one, Chappi. And have you ever been to that campus at American Heritage?
Unfortunately, I haven't.
That was my first time there, and man, what a beautiful place. But the Conchs didn't think it was so beautiful. Heritage got off to a lead with a 2-run homer off the bat of Bladen Caballero, and then it was Sam Holland for the Conchs. He hit a solo shot in the top of the 2nd to put Key West on the board. But it was all Patriots after that. Sebastian Gravito hit a 2-run homer. Then Jordan Rich hit one out. Chris Levy hit the 4th home run of the night for the Patriots. And Heritage eliminated the Conchs from the tournament, beating them 9-5. So we have to say goodbye to the Conchs for now. But their future is very bright down there in Key West. They have a young team, and now that team has some playoff experience. They have a freshman in Cade Motts, who, by the way, hit a home run in that game. and Mott's will lead the Conks in the years to come. And rest assured that Conk Nation will be in the regionals once again. So great season to the legend down there, Ralph Enriquez. And I wish you the best, Ralphie, Andrew, Jack, and Randy Niles. And to my boy, Louis C. Rock, congrats on a great season, you guys. There are a bunch of great guys down there and a very exciting team to watch in Key West.
Yeah, Muggsy, you nailed it all on the head, man. Congrats to Key West on an incredible year, guys.
In another Class 4A regional semifinal, Jesse's Belém Wolverines traveled to Merritt Island to face the Mustangs. The Wolverines shut out the Mustangs in Game 1, 3-0. And in the second game on Tuesday, the Mustangs answered back with a win by putting up 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th in a come-from-behind victory, beating the Wolverines 4-3 and forcing a decisive Game 3 a Thursday night at Belém. In Game 3 at Belém, it was the Wolverines that would keep the Cinderella season alive by beating the Merritt Island Mustangs 2-0. It was Victor Escobar that threw a gem, a complete game allowing just 3 hits, and it was David Del Pino and Joey Bats with 2 hits and an RBI each. The Wolverines will go on to play American Heritage in the regional final, and I gotta hand it to the Wolverines and Jesse. They've been getting it done, Chappi, with smoke and mirrors, and these guys have been stepping up to fill the gaps. And despite not having their star sophomore Jake Cueto in the lineup, Belém has earned every bit of where they are right now. So congrats to you guys. Now let's keep the momentum going. Wolverines.
Yeah, my boy Jesse Fernandez, this is all on you, brother. Congratulations on a stellar season. And this proves why you, my brother, are one of the best coaches in all of Dade County. And there's no reason for anybody to doubt that. And your coaching staff next to you, Ernie Padron and the boys, you have an incredible staff, man. I hope you guys move on. I hope you guys defeat Goliath. This is your season, guys.
Congratulations to the Wolverines. On Wednesday's semifinal for Class 5A Region 4, the number 1 seed, the Matter Academy Lions, faced the Jaguars of Pembroke Pines. The confident Lions are 5-0 in their last 5 games coming into the semifinal, and that confidence spilled over onto Wednesday night when they completely destroyed the Jaguars' hopes of winning. Alfred Rosario threw 6 no-hit innings for the Lions, and you talk about stepping up. This guy put the Lions on his back and said, come along and ride on this fantastic voyage. Yodekis Quevedo sacó una, and watch out, because Brian Fernandez is getting hot with the bat, and when that lefty gets going, ay papá, ten cuidado. And in Game 2, the Lions were looking to keep the bats going, and it was Yodelkis again, sacándosela delante de todo el mundo for a home run in consecutive games. And Dylan Fernandez, he's officially back. The junior outfielder had 3 RBIs in that one. And on the mound, it was Mr. Reliable, Heldy La Rosa. He went the distance for the Lions, collecting 5 croquetas and allowing just 1 run in an 8-1 victory for the Lions of Matter Academy. And Chappi, everyone can say what they want about Matter. Love them or hate them, but you sure have to respect them. This team has all the horses you need to make it to the state finals. And just like I said before the season ever started, this team will be in Fort Myers come May. So go Lions. The Lions will face Varela in the regional final starting on Wednesday.
Humberto Encomo, congratulations, brother. Matter Academy is an incredible ball club because of you and the hard work of your coaching staff. To your fans and to your friends and family out there, I hope you guys continue to ride this wave into a Final Four. But you still have some work to do.
Yes, sir. And in that same Class 5A semifinals, the Varela Vipers had to travel to Broward to play the Mavericks of Archbishop McCarthy. Varela's ace, the lefty Luis Sosa, took to the mound. Sosa was cruising on the Mavericks until they put up 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, making it a 1-run game. The Vipers leaned on their junior, Jonathan Paniagua, and he came through with 3 RBIs. And Chacon and Sosa Martinez, they all had 2 hits for Varela. In Game 2 on Thursday, the McCarthy Mavericks jumped out to an early lead and held on to win 8-4, forcing a decisive Game 3 on Saturday. So in the final game on Saturday morning, the sophomore Andy Espinoza took the mound for the Vipers. Espinoza was solid. He only gave up 1 run in 5 innings, but it was the junior once again, Jonathan Paniagua, who came through with a huge home run for Varela, and Juan Chacon and Tyler "The Field" Rodriguez had 2 RBIs each in that game, and the Vipers beat McCarthy 12-4, advancing to the Class 5A final series against the Matter Lions.
All right, Varela, I called you guys for a regional qualifier. I called you guys into a regional final. This is your opportunity. I want to say congratulations to the boys out there. You guys all deserve it, from Sosa to the Ponte brothers to Tyler "The Field" Rodriguez, and he's definitely got some feel over there as a great sophomore at third base for them. And to my boy Alex Gonzalez behind the plate, you guys deserve this. You guys have worked your tails off, being some really quality teams and being another quality team to get to this point. Now, it's going to probably be the best matchup of the entire regional final right here. The Varela Vipers versus the Matter Academy Lions. So I'll leave it up to you guys to decide who wins. I'm not making any predictions here.
We got a showdown in Hialeah Gardens on Wednesday. You don't want to miss that one. Let's move over to Class 6A, Region 4, the semifinal matchup between the number 1 seed, the San Thomas Aquinas Raiders, and the number 5 seed, the West Boca Bulls. It was the Raiders of San Thomas that took Game 1 on Wednesday, defeating the Bulls 9-2, and on Thursday's game, the Raiders beat the Bulls 4-2. So we have to say goodbye to head coach Jerry Albert and the Bulls, but congratulations on a remarkable season, you guys. The Raiders move on to a familiar place, the regional finals, where they'll face the Doral Academy Firebirds.
Well, again, I just want to say congratulations to Jerry Albert on another incredible year, on another historic year for him. Every year for him is very important as it grows his legacy in Florida baseball. So congratulations. And congratulations to St. Thomas for taking care of business and moving on to face our Doral Firebirds from down here in Miami-Dade County.
Let's continue in Class 6A, Region 4. This is the series we've all been waiting for, the Doral Academy Firebirds and the Braddock Bulldogs. And we were expecting some heavyweight punches to be thrown in this one. It was the Firebirds that came out swinging the bats in Game 1. They had home runs from Kobe Carrion, Dylan Prince, Leandro Hernandez, and that's all starting pitcher Marcelo Rodriguez would need. Rodriguez would go 5 innings for Doral, collecting 8 of those delicious handcrafted croquetas. Doral won Game 1 by a knockout, 10-0. And in the second game of the Class 6A semi, the 1-4-4 boys were looking at elimination right in the face. The Dogs turned to their pit bull, the senior outfielder, Sebastian Yamoses. Yamoses put 2 in the library for the Dogs. The first one was off the starter, Aaron Elisant, and that gave Braddock the early lead, and the Bulldogs never looked back. Yamoses would hit another bomb and ended up with 7 RBIs. The Bulldogs returned the favor and knocked out Doral in Game 2, 15-2, forcing a decisive Game 3 that you can watch right here on FSPN. And on Saturday's decisive Game 3, Chappi, that was the craziest, wildest game at Braddock. There was a 2-hour lightning delay, and once the game got started, it didn't take very long for Doral to get on the board. In the very second pitch of the game, Gabo Milano led it off with a home run off Braddock starter Jesus Moreno. And then in the top of the 4th inning, Javen Francois went yard for the Birds, making it 5-0. And you thought the Birds were just going to cruise. But in the bottom of the 4th, it was that senior again, the outfielder, Sebastian Yamoses, with his 3rd home run of the series. And the Bulldogs made it a 1-run game, scoring 4 in that inning. But with daylight running out, the Bulldogs found themselves behind by 2 going into what would be the 6th and final inning. The Bulldogs managed to get 1 run to make it 6-5, and then the game was called due to darkness. Chappi, this game got heated with the fans and the players. And oh, by the way, Caleb Hernandez and my boy George Pardo Jr. both had 2 RBIs for the Firebirds, and that will advance them to the final series, and they will play the Raiders of St. Thomas starting on Wednesday in Fort Lauderdale. But wow, Chappi, what a game that was at Braddock.
That series was electric. That has to be the series of the year by far. The fact that Game 1, no gal. Game 2, no gal. Let's go to Braddock. And then for Doral, that they play on a carpet, to go and play at Braddock, which is not a carpet, Okay, that is a very tough field to play on, and they come out on top, showing their power. Dude, what a series, man! Congratulations to the Braddock Bulldogs. Congratulations on an incredible season, Harold Martinez. Incredible season to all those seniors, Jesus Moreno, Yamosas, who had the regional semi of his life, 3 bombs in 2 games. Dude, what an incredible
Unbelievable.
year.
And don't forget Adam Hernandez over there at second base.
No, everybody. The whole squad played. I mean, everybody had to show up. Echeverria had to pitch and show up. Suarez had to come and show up for them. Moreno pitched twice in that series. He had to come through for them at one point. Devin Lopez had to come and pitch. That team had depth on the mound. They threw everybody. They let everybody go. And that was a series that you can watch right here on FSPN and check it out, man. You guys are not. You guys, if anything, you guys might need one of those patitas to control your.
Yeah, para controlar
el corazón. I promise you, it was electric. And the final, Class 7A of Region 4, the number 1 seed, Stoneman Douglas, favored, took on the number 4 seed, the Trojans of Taravella. And the boys took care of business out in Douglas, and they clinched their spot over in a state final, in a regional final. Congratulations to Todd Fitzgerald and the boys over there at Stoneman Douglas.
The number 2 seed in this Class 7A were the Columbus Explorers, and they hosted the West Broward Bobcats on Wednesday, the Breezy Boys. Game 1 at Columbus, the Explorers held on to beat the Breezy Boys 4-3, despite a 2-run home run off the bat of your boy, Manuel Sarcos.
Yeah, that Manuel Sarcos is just that kid is just a staple of that lineup, and I love everything about that kid and his attitude. I'm hoping that kid can be a professional player one day because he's got all the tools.
Chappi, everyone thought Columbus was going to steamroll past West Broward and get into the finals. But nobody told West Broward, and the Bobcats were cornered, and they had their back against the wall. And what happens when you put a Bobcat in the corner? They come out scratching and clawing. The Cats went blow for blow with the mighty Explorers for 6 innings, and it was scoreless until the top of the 7th. And then, bam, the Bobcats put up 3 runs on Columbus, and their starter, Matthew Rios. Ivan Sabater had 2 RBIs for the Breezies, and Braden Aguila. There, I said his name right, because I think last time I called him Brandon, but it's Braden, who stepped up for West Broward and threw a complete game, giving up 0 runs and handing out 5 of those tasty West Broward croquetas, forcing a Game 3 on Saturday at West Broward. So Saturday morning, the Explorers cruise up to Pembroke Pines, thinking that they're going to ease their way into the finals, right? Ay, papa. This could be the upset of the year. The Breezy Boys put up 2 touchdowns on the Explorers, and they scored runs in every inning to eliminate the Columbus Explorers from the state tournament. Angel Figueroa got the win for the Bobcats, and the Breezies will advance to the final series and play Stoneman Douglas.
I want to congratulate the West Broward Breezy Boys on taking down Goliath.
Unbelievable.
And I love when Columbus goes down and they don't get to where they want, because at the end of the day, Columbus has a standard, and if they don't get there, it's a fail. So, sorry to my boy Danny Casals over there at Columbus. I love you, but it was time to take down Goliath. And the West Broward Breezy Boys did their job. And congratulations to those guys over there. You guys had a hell of a run. To the Columbus Explorers, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
All right, Chappi, that's it for the semifinal round of the FHSAA Regional Tournament. And wow, we had some upsets. We had some teams that knew that we're going to make it, and we're going to come right back and talk about the regional final matchups and our predictions right after this, and hopefully there won't be any more of these yellow flags.
Papi, Columbus, te metieron 14 por la cabeza. Una pila para ustedes, mira. Una pila.
No llores, brother. No llores. Next season. You got next season coming. Don't worry, Columbus. You'll be okay. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Sácamela, Yodeki. Sácamela. Sácamela! Welcome back to Inside the Park on FSPN, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. And Chappi, This week we had to say hasta luego to some of our local Dade and Broward County teams. But here's what the regional final series are going to look like. In the Class 7A regional final for Region 4, the number 1 seed Stoneman Douglas will face the Cinderella West Broward Bobcats. And Chappi, what are your thoughts on this series?
Well, as we all know, it's another David and Goliath type of story for West Broward trying to take on Stoneman Douglas, who might have, if not the most collected team with talent in all of Florida. Definitely a representation of South Florida as one of the best teams down here. So I'm looking forward to how the chess match will work on the mound for West Broward, if they will go out there game 1 trying to match, pitch for pitch and play by play versus Gio versus Rojas, if they throw him on the mound and they go with Sabater on the mound, or will they mix and match? And I don't know. It's going to be a chess match, so I'm excited. At the end of the day, like I've said before, la pelota es ronda y viene una caja cuadrada. So anything can happen in baseball.
So the question is, can David take down Goliath for the second consecutive series? We'll have to wait around and see on that one.
Absolutely.
In Class 6A Region 4, the number 1 seed, the San Thomas Aquinas Raiders, will host the Doral Academy Firebirds. And I know Coach Joey up there in San Thomas always has an afilado team ready to go. So that series is going to be very, very competitive.
This might be, in my opinion, the most hostile environments to go and play at each other. So for Doral to go up to St. Thomas, they already have a built-in little rivalry over there. There's kind of already something brewing over there. They know one another. They know what's at stake. And I'm very excited for this series. I'm very excited to see, again, the chess match between one team and one another. Will Marcelo Rodriguez be on the mound game 1 at St. Thomas Aquinas to try to nail the coffin in game 1? Or will they try to hold their horse to see if they can get one up there and bring them down into Doral?
That's going to be an interesting series. And in Class 5A Region 4, we have the number 1 seed, the Matter Academy Lions, and they're going to host the Varela Vipers over here. And Chappi, I'm going to hold my guns, because in the beginning of the season, I said that the Matter Academy Lions were going to be in Fort Myers, and I'm going to stick to my guns. So I'm sorry, Brian Alvarez. I'm sorry, Alex Diaz and Paniagua and all you guys. I love you guys. Pero I
Listen,
think...
Muggsy, you remember what I said in the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
About my boys in Varela?
Yep.
Guess what, brother? I'm going to have to take my boys over in West Kendall. You guys got to represent me. You guys know I've been reaching out to all of you guys. You guys know who I've been talking to. You guys got to prove me right. Let's go. You guys have been proving me right the whole year. Vamos.
This is going to be an over-the-top, arm wrestling match, and I can't wait to be there, and that one starts on Wednesday. Let's move over to Class 4A, Region 4. The final series are the number 1 seed, American Heritage, and they're going to host the Cinderella Belém Jesuit Wolverines. And, of course, I want to be the one to put that shoe on the Wolverines and see them going to Fort Myers. What are your thoughts on this one?
Listen, man, like I said before, Jesse Fernandez is the man. And if I trust one of these coaches to get the job done with smoke and mirrors, it's a guy that's already done it. It's a guy that knows how to make chicken salad out of chicken butt. But at the end of the day, these kids are talented. They want to win. They want to play for one another, and that's what counts. That's why they've gone this far. So congratulations to Belén. Let's make it another David and Goliath, and let's bring in the Cinderella back into the state Final Four.
That's right. All Belén has to do is win one.
Win one and bring them back home,
and they
Baba.
bring them back over there to Swampwater.
Bring them back home.
And in Class 3A, the final series will have the St. Brendan Sabres facing the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. And that series gets started on Monday. And, buddy, I love St. Brendan's, but I think the Hawks just have too much firepower.
Listen, like I said before, la pelota es ronda y viene una caja cuadrada. My boy Robles. It could be done. You've taken down some good teams before. Anything could happen. But I think the bakery over there with Roque and Esteves might be a little too strong. But, like I said, anything can happen.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, JP and Triple G and the Lion and B-Rock and all those guys over there, Oopie. I love you guys. I love you. I'm always going to love you, man. It's just a game. It's just a series. But you'll be there next year.
Nah. Vamos a ver si you guys can bring them home. Vamos, bring them back over here.
In Class 2A, the regional final, it's going to be the St. Andrew Scots, and they're going to face the Eagles of St. John Paul. And you know what? I'm going to give it to the Scots because they just been on a roll, man.
Yeah, man. The Scots, they're absolutely on fire, man. These guys, they're running over everybody. They have pitching. They have hitting. They do the little things. It's a recipe for them to get into.
And in Class 1A, the number 4 seed are the Miami Brito Panthers, and they're going to visit the number 2 seed, the Miami Christian Victors. And, man, I'm just going to give it to the Victors because that first 2 games are at home.
Yeah, I agree. Playing at home is such a comfort zone. And for Chris Cuadra, he decided this year to play all of his games on the road. He didn't schedule, if you go and look at his schedule, a lot of his games were on the road. He didn't schedule a lot of games at home. So now having the opportunity to come home in your comfort zone, being battle tested, this proves that for Miami Christian, your strength of schedule and the schedule you guys had leads to these moments to make it into a state Final Four.
The Quadra has taken his team down to Key West. They've gone up to Palm Beach to play in tournaments, and that team is battle tested. So I'd watch out for the Victors in this series. I want to wish good luck to all of our local teams that are still in the tournament. We wish you the best, and we hope to see you out there in Fort Myers.
Congratulations to everybody, and what an incredible regional playoff it's been. To everybody that's represented us here in Dade County, thank you. You guys were incredible. You guys left it all out there. And to everybody that seasons is over, enjoy the rest of your summer, and good luck on the rest of your endeavors.
Yes, thank you for a truly unforgettable season. And now, when we come back, we'll have the player spotlight. And we have a really good one for you, Chappi. This guy makes some special Dominican croquetas.
Oh, I think I might know who we got.
We'll be right back. Thanks for watching Inside the Park. Welcome back to Inside the Park on FSPN, the weekly recap show for South Florida high school baseball. And now it's time for the Player Spotlight, that popular segment on the show that everybody likes. And our guest today is the sophomore sensation from Southridge. It's Isaac Vidal. Isaac, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you, Ogan Bugs. Thank you for having me today. I love the caps that you have on the wall, especially the Southridge one. I love that one. Today I brought you some Dominican croquetas just for you.
You brought me croquetas?
Yes, sir.
Some leftover from a game?
Yes, sir.
You didn't? Can I try one?
Of course.
Ay, papá. Croquetica dominicana, papá. These are the best. You make these? Real good?
Yeah, I made them.
Oh, man. Oh, that's great. Oh, papá. No, people like them so much. You gave away 77 of them this year. Now, Isaac, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. And let's talk about this season and you individually. We know that baseball, it's a team sport. And, you got 8 other guys out there with you. But individually, you've been putting up some crazy numbers. You lead the county in strikeouts with 77 in just 42 innings. What's your secret to success? What have you been doing the same, and what are you doing different?
To me, it's no secret. It's just hard work and putting it every day. And just having that mentality that you could do it. And just being positive and trusting God and making God putting you to the right path and just traveling with Him.
Isaac, if you were to describe this year's 2025 Southridge Spartan team, I would describe you guys as being young and very, very competitive. How would you describe your team?
I would describe my team very well. We're very young and we're very competitive ball players. At the end of the day, we didn't have the season that we wanted, but we went a very far way. We could hit, we could pitch, we could play defense, we could do everything all around. But we have a very strong team.
And you sure do, and you showed that by beating some quality teams in your district. For example, the Braddock Bulldogs and the Doral Firebirds, two teams of which your Spartans beat during the season. And now those two teams met in the semifinals. What are your thoughts on all of that? I mean, you guys beat them both, but now you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I mean, they're competitive teams. You know, they're both good teams, very strong teams as well. You know, we came out the first game against Doral, we came out strong and positive that we could win that game. And the same thing with Braddock. We came out strong. The first game didn't go as planned, but the district game went as planned that we wanted to go.
Okay, Isaac, let's talk about Southridge, the school, the coaching staff, and the administration. What are going to be some of your biggest takeaways in this 2025 season?
I mean, the administration at Southridge is very good. You know, our AD, Mr. Vidal, he's always supportive over the ball players and always at every game. The coaching staff is amazing, as in Coach Mo and Coach Ivan. Coach Mo has been very strong, trusting us, putting us in the right path. Even Coach Ivan, as a pitching coach, I mean, he's very talented as what he knows for pitching. You know, having Mr. Vidal there to support us every game and being there every game is a very big thing for us. Even Mr. Moret as a principal, he's always there supporting us at every game we go. As in Broward, he went to Broward to go watch us play. He went to Doral, he went to every game.
Yeah, that must be nice to have that kind of support, from the administration and seeing them there at games and everything. So let's talk about some of these other teams around the leagues and some different classes. Most of these teams that you know of and the kids on that team, they're in the regional finals now. For example, these two teams we have in front of us right here, the San Brendan Sabres and the Miami Springs Hawks, are going to play on Monday. If you had to pick a team, who would you pick in that series?
I mean, pick a team that's very hard because they're both very great teams overall, very talented teams, very talented coaches, very talented players in general. In my opinion, I don't have any opinion whoever wins, but whoever wins, that's great. They go to states, but overall, they're very hard teams to play.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a no answer. This guy, you should be a politician, bro. You just answered a question without even answering it. That's incredible. Incredible. All right, one more time. Let me put you on the spot. Who do you like right here? Senator Vidal.
I mean, they're very good teams as well. We have Matter Academy. We played them. They're a very strong team. They came back on us. Very competitive team. Then we have Varela. Varela very good pitchers, very good hitting. They're very good teams, to be honest with you. Competitive against them. Competitive pitching, competitive hitting. You have to be smart versus both teams.
All right, let's talk about the future. Now, you're a sophomore this year. You got 77 strikeouts. I think you have like a total of 117 strikeouts for your career. And if you keep going at this pace, man, you can have 300 strikeouts by the end of your senior year. That means you would have struck out almost everybody in Dade County baseball. That's unbelievable. So next year, you'll be a junior. You're going to have some of these colleges and universities come talk to you because obviously they can't talk to you now. But I'm going to save all of you recruiters and the pro scouts that are out there. I'm going to save you some money, some time, and some airfare. Any of you guys would be lucky, very lucky, to land this guy in your team. So if you want a competitor with all the tools you need on the mound, this is your guy right here. All right. Have you thought about or given any time to thinking about what school you would like to go to?
I mean, yeah, I thought about some schools, some colleges, some very good D1 colleges for me that I would pretty much grow up with. But right now, of course, I'm in high school season. I'm still a sophomore going to my junior year, so I have a lot more time to think about it. When I'm a senior, then everything will go in plan.
I want to wish you the best of luck this summer. And do you have any plans on where you're going to play in the summer?
Yes, I'm playing for the San Diego Padres scout team, for Coach Mo's team, but for the 16U team. But yeah, I'm playing a couple tournaments there, getting more looked at for other colleges as well. But yeah, it should be good. It should be fun.
All right, let's wrap things up now. We have a segment that everybody loves. It's called the Change-Up. And you know this. We've asked you 3 questions that have absolutely nothing to do about baseball in a way for our viewers and for your fans to get to know Isaac Vidal a little bit better. Now, from a previous interview that I had with you, I know that your favorite movie is Spider-Man. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that you love to eat at Boca Grill.
Yes, sir.
and that you like Porsches.
Yeah, I love those cars.
So we got to come up with some new ones right now. So tell us, is Isaac Vidal a cat person or a dog person?
I'm a dog person.
A dog. You know, most baseball players are dog people.
Yeah.
And what do you have? What kind of dog? What's his name or her name?
The names are Rocky and Negra. I have 2 Chihuahuas.
Oh man, Chihuahuas.
Crazy.
Do you walk them around your neighborhood?
No, never.
Yeah, man. What's a tough guy like you doing with some Chihuahuas, man? Oh my God. I'm sure Rocky and Negra are very nice. Sorry, Rocky and Negra. All right. Question number 2. What is your favorite MLB team, and who's your favorite player and why?
My favorite MLB team is probably the Padres. My favorite player off that team is probably Tatis. You know, he's very humble for himself. He takes everything serious. Every practice he always takes it very serious. He's just a great, talented player overall. You know, you can't compete with someone in that level that has like the bat skill that right now he's hitting amazing in the season. His defense is incredible. Everything overall is amazing.
Okay, last question for Isaac Vidal, the sophomore sensation for the Southridge Spartans. What do you like to do in the off season? What are some hobbies? And please don't say throwing bullpen or working out, because that's not a hobby.
You know, some hobbies, spending time with my family and traveling with my family, definitely going to theme parks. And since now my sister moved out to Virginia, that's going to be a new spot for us driving up there.
All right, folks. Well, if you didn't know him before, you know him now. He's the right-handed pitcher for the Southridge Spartans, and he likes to go to Virginia, and he takes Rocky and Negrita in the car with him. He's Isaac Vidal, everybody. And that's our show for today. Thank you for your time. We'll be with you next Monday because on Saturday we seem to have games because you guys can't seem to sweep anybody. So we'll be back on Monday with more Inside the Park. And on behalf of my co-host, Chappi Castillo, I want to thank you for watching. You want a croqueta?
Sure.
These aren't just props. These are real croquetas. Chichi. El croquetero. Delicious. I love it.